Behind and to the side of the quarterbacks are the running backs. And this is where the questions continue on this show. Just how deep can this running back go in 2025? Just how deep will this running back room go in 2025? Well, this is something that running backs coach Rashad Samples brought up this spring, and, well, he might have an interesting solution to get all of these guys involved.
Go out there. I mean, you got so many dynamic runners that are dynamic for different reasons, lateral ability, and Jay Harris is explosive, and Jaden Lamar has long speed. And I mean, you can just go down the line with every single guy. There's different reasons why these guys can just rattle off 20, 30, 40-yard runs, and they're going to do it in all different ways. And they all kind of weirdly complement each other. It's probably one of the most talented running back rooms I've ever been a part of. I'm going to try to figure out if I can call the NCAA and see if we can play with two footballs. Yeah, we got to find ways to get these guys the ball, and that's my job, and it's a hard job. It's a good problem to have, right? It's to have a lot of good guys that you want to get the ball to in different ways. I think you can expect to see multiple guys playing.
I really love a lot of the points that Coach Samp made in that soundbite from earlier on this spring, and I think it gives us a lot to think about. Like, Jaden Lamar and Jay Harris are two perfect examples. Because I think, and I'm guilty of this as well, I think when we think of this running back room for 2025, a lot of people have thrown up Mekhi Hughes. I think we're all pretty much in agreement. He's going to be the number one running back. He's transferring in to fill that void that is left by Jordan James. And, this is not an insult, I think, to Noah Whittington, but I just don't know if Noah Whittington is the guy that's going to elevate himself into that number one role. I've said it many times over. I think Noah Whittington is a perfect 1B back. I think Noah Whittington is that perfect complement. We've seen it earlier on in his career, and we saw it last year certainly as well. But how deep can they go, and how deep will they go, I think are two different conversations. You throw out the true freshman. You throw out Jordan Davison, and you throw out De'Aaron Hill. You look at the rest of this running back room, which is 5 guys. I think all 5 of these guys can have a role on this football team this season. I'm not sure if there will be as much consistent depth, but I think there's going to be a lot more situational depth. So when you look at consistent depth, it's like, hey, are you going to have 4 guys rush for 500 or 600 yards? No, I don't think that's going to happen. You have a guy transferring in Mekhi Hughes, and this is very interesting to really see, because Mekhi rushed for, on average, 1,400 yards over the last 2 seasons. Now, that's at the group of 5 level, and the whole point of this segment is evaluating the depth in the running back room. Is he going to be able to rush for 1,400 yards? I think there is going to be so much depth in the room, and I think there's going to be a lot of carries to go around. I'm not sure if Mekhi is going to rush for that 1,400 yards. I think we're going to see a Noah Whittington season, much like we've seen a Noah Whittington season in the past at Oregon, when he has been healthy. When I look at all of these guys in the spring game, Noah Whittington, there was, I think, sometime in the middle of the game, he showed some pretty good burst throughout that spring game as well. I'm really excited about what he can provide. But I think when it comes to when we talk about consistent depth, who are we going to see on a consistent basis? I think Mekhi is certainly going to be that number one guy. Mekhi and Noah are very point A to point B type of runners. They can smash your face in. They can run you over. I think that's the type of run game that you're going to see from atop of this Oregon depth chart. Because you look at the interior of this offensive line, when you look at Poncho and Pranon and whoever it is at the other guard, this is going to be a group, I think that's really good. I think this is a better interior offensive line than we've seen in recent years at Oregon, and I think that's going to help with the interior run game combined with the guys that want to smash your face in, like I was just talking about. So I feel very confident in that type of role where Mekhi is like subbing in for Jordan James. He's going to rush around that 1,000 yard mark, and James is going to do his 600 yards, his 700 yards, 500, whatever it ends up being. Now I think after that is where things get a little bit interesting because a lot of people, including myself, have really hyped up Dink Riggs. Dink Riggs, I think, provides a little bit more shiftiness, a little bit more speed to the outside than the more experienced guys in Hughes and Whittington. But I think where things get really interesting beyond that is the guys that Coach Sam talked about in Jade Lamar and Jay Harris. I said during the spring, I thought one of these guys might transfer out just because of the depth. But I'm really glad that both of these guys are here. Let's talk about Jaden Lamar first. Because we saw it in the spring game with his burst on that first touchdown drive where he was able to burst up the middle and have a nice score. He's very clear that he has that burst. He has that pop. He has that explosiveness. It would not surprise me to, like last year's game against Oregon State, I think they threw it out to him on a screen pass, and he was able to put that speed on display and run away from the Beaver defense for a touchdown. It would not surprise me if they get very creative with Jaden Lamar and try to just isolate his speed in any way they can, whether it's traditional stuff in the backfield, whether it's isolating him out on the perimeter. I think, like, I see that speed, and you want to get that long breakaway speed on the field somehow, in some way, in some type of packages. When I look at Jay Harris, now Jay Harris is maybe he's in the mold of maybe some of those top two guys that we talked about. But when I look at Jay, and I remember flashing back to the spring game, remember that touchdown that he had where he's just dragging defenders on. Now, he did fumble the ball earlier on in the game, but where he's dragging defenders, I could see Jay Harris as that running back when you get inside the goal line, when you get to a 3rd and 1 type of package and you sub off Mekhi Hughes, who's been on the field for 4 plays, for 5 plays, for 6 plays. Same with Noah Whittington. I think Jay Harris can really serve as that power back, short yardage back when you need those types of yardages. 22 can check into the game, and he can get you those types of yards. I'm not expecting Jaden Lamar or Jay Harris to rush for 400 yards this next season, 500 yards this next season. Could it happen? Yeah, it could probably happen. But I think the situational depth with certain spots for each and every one of those guys will really be on display this season as opposed to the consistent depth. When you look at the consistency, they're going to lean on the experience. They're going to lean on Mekhi Hughes, who's entering his 3rd year of college football. They're going to lean on Noah Whittington, who has been through this program, who's the dad, literally, within this Oregon running back room. And, he certainly has seen a lot of defenses throughout his day as well. Dink is somebody I think that's sitting there that I think has the full, complete ability to break into a more consistent role in this Oregon team. Will he? I think that remains to be seen. But man, either way, I am so psyched about the depth in this running back room. I'm so pumped to be wrong that one of those guys did not transfer out. I think if you see injuries in this room, there are many players within this room, I think, that can step up into bigger roles. And, the drop-off from Mekhi Hughes, is Jaden Lamar going to be able to run the ball as consistently as Mekhi Hughes? No, I don't believe that. But I think that in certain situations, each and every single one of these guys can come up and certainly make a big play in the run game.